Good evening. My name is Jessica DeLarbra, and I am so proud to serve as the CEO for Habitat for Humanity of Southern Santa Barbara County. Thank you for joining us tonight as we celebrate from the wonderful Lobero Theater to honor Habitat's 20 incredible years of building affordable housing, repairing homes, advocating for safe and affordable homes, and providing community members with resources to aid in financial and housing stability. From your own homes, we gather and watch tonight as Habitat homeowners, as dedicated volunteers, and new and longtime board members, incredible donors, and new Habitat friends. The last year has shaken many of us to our core, but it has also taught us that we are resilient and we've been able to gain a new perspective on so many things. Homes are more than the place where families lay their heads at night. Our home has been the first line of defense against the pandemic, in the center of our lives in so many more ways than we are used to. We found that home has never been more important. Yet, there are so many in our Santa Barbara community who continue to live in housing that is unsafe, who may be on the brink of losing their homes, who've owned their home for a long time and want to continue to age there, but it is no longer accessible to meet basic safety needs. And of course, there's housing that's simply not affordable, and families that have to choose between a safe place to live or food and health care. The cost of home can sometimes be so high that sheltering safely becomes impossible. Despite the pandemic, Habitat Santa Barbara has safely continued its mission locally. Recent recipients of our home repair programs present a variety of critical housing solutions, and I'll share with you just a few. A wheelchair-bound senior unable to pass through the threshold of his own bedroom because their doorframe is not wide enough. Individuals with health conditions and no working furnace or plumbing. A woman with a decaying front porch and infestation issues. And we've also done repairs to prevent eviction from state modular housing parks. This is just an example of a few individuals we were able to help recently. The stay-at-home orders that initially took effect in March of 2020 prompted our retail store, The Restore, to close its doors with health and safety in mind. And then in summer of 2020, we made the difficult but necessary decision to close the store and exit our building in Gala. But consequently, we relocated to a donated office space in Santa Barbara, allowing us to cut overhead and admin costs. We are proud to share that our budget is balanced and our mission continues with refined focus and strength. And our board of directors is actively engaged in a strategic planning process that coincides with innovating our next new construction project in a housing model to help increase our housing inventory in a post-pandemic world. But back to tonight. We will do everything that we can to give you the best show from your couch since 2019, to inspire you, to celebrate our wonderful homeowners, donors, and volunteers who have been alongside us addressing such important community work over 20 years. And if at any time you'd like to donate, you can visit us online at www.sbhabitat.org/donate. And at the end of tonight's broadcast, we'll include a live paddle raise, in this case, a live opportunity to text to donate or donate online from a laptop or a phone. We hope you will join us in funding even more life-changing affordable housing programs right here in Santa Barbara. Next, I am so pleased to introduce Laura Fisher, Board President for Habitat for Humanity of Southern Santa Barbara County.
Simply amazing, and thank you, Jessica. What a beautiful evening, especially to know that each of you are safely in your homes, yet still all connecting around a shared cause, the belief in affordable housing, and Habitat's mission of building and repairing homes. So often we talk about the significant in community making our work possible. That means our incredible board leadership, our committees, our volunteers who have their sleeves rolled up on the job site, and of course, our donors. On that note, I wanted to give special thanks to the sponsors who make this evening possible. Please refer to your digital program book for more information about our sponsors as well. Special thanks to Union Bank, U.S. Bank, Montecito Bank and Trust, Doug and Linda Wood, Yardy Systems, Maureen McDermott and Associates, Cinefund, Diane McQuarrie, Citizens Business Bank, First Republic Bank, Pacific Western Bank, Goodwin and Tide Properties, and of course, those who sponsored ads, bought tickets, and made a significant financial contribution. It's what drives our mission, inspires our volunteers and our staff. You've been to Habitat Gala before, in person, that is, then you know that the paddle raise is one of the most powerful tools helping the organization to raise money to deliver its mission each year. Our gratitude also goes out to supporters and sponsors from the last 20 years. Too many to name. Please know your support has made an impact on so many lives. We want to thank the Libero Theater for this wonderful donated space. Thank you as well to John Silva Films for his partnership in this gala production. Personally, I wanted to reflect on the power of volunteers and building community. Let's admit it, nothing can replace that feeling of sitting in a room that's filled with energy and excitement at an in-person event. We have captured just a bit of this by asking our longtime friends and supporters, especially those who have supported us over 20-year history, to share why their involvement with Habitat is so important. Let's go ahead and share some of that community.
Hi, I'm Santa Barbara Mayor Kathy Murillo, thanking Habitat for Humanity for all the good work that they do, bringing hope and dignity to people. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
I'm Smith Tobes. Being married to the wonderful Michael Tobes for almost 12 years, I heard a lot about affordable housing, how it was one of the most important ways to make someone feel empowered, worthwhile, and secure. He also said that providing quality affordable housing would make the life of a community more varied, more vibrant, and more equitable. And I certainly agree with him. Happy 20th anniversary, Habitat for Humanity.
It's been an honor over the years to partner with Habitat in designing and creating amazing homes, energy efficient homes for very wonderful families, deserving families, and the great Habitat staff.
We've had the privilege to partner with Habitat for Humanity for several years and have done 3 projects with them. And it's just easy to say that their projects have been some of the most meaningful projects for us to do as an architectural firm.
Everybody's lives, from the volunteers who spend a day out there to those who volunteer day after day, I've seen their lives change, their views of the world change. But most importantly and most impactfully is the lives of the homeowners, of the families who build their own home, who are given that hand up to change the trajectory of their family and their children's lives.
I've been in service with Habitat for a number of years and look forward to many, many years to come. A wonderful organization to work with and for.
It's the relief I hear in homeowners' voices and see on their faces that keeps me supporting Habitat Santa Barbara.
Homeownership is a dream to so many Americans. And I think we have to think about affordable housing and supporting affordable housing, because in a place where the median household price has gotten so out of control, like our community, what hope do our children and our grandchildren have of being able to make it in this place without affordable housing?
I support Habitat because housing not only improves lives, but also empowers communities to thrive.
I'm involved with this chapter because their programs support housing security, and the need for affordable housing is urgent. Leaky pipes, drafty rooms, and poor ventilation, no heat is no place for a good night's sleep.
It gives me a chance to work with good people and do needed repairs. We see many examples of safety hazards and other home deficiencies that would not be addressed without Habitat.
And I support affordable housing. Affordable housing is critical for our families, our businesses, and a healthy community.
It's been a very fulfilling experience for me to be a part of this community and see the smiles on families' faces, and I just encourage everybody to be a part of it.
I'm sure you can agree, what a special experience. Tonight we reflect on what we are grateful for, share our stories, and as health and safety continues to improve, to join us in being a part of such a special mission in southern Santa Barbara County. I am truly honored to introduce our next guest, Lars Linton. At Habitat, we open our meetings or events with reflection or invocation. What makes this next guest so unique is that Lars is not only an amazing pastor at Anthem Chapel in Gala, but is also a homeowner who is raising his family at Habitat's Canon Perdido property. Take it away, Pastor Linton.
Hello, my name is Lars Linton, and I'm a pastor at Anthem Chapel. Just say a quick moment of prayer and blessing on the mission of Habitat. Will you join me? Dear Jesus, we're just so thankful for the opportunity to even have Habitat in Santa Barbara County. So thankful, Lord, for an organization that really helps people that are struggling just to find affordable housing and does an amazing miracle of providing a home that we can afford and that we can enjoy and have an incredible community within. So I just pray that you would bless Habitat. I pray so much that there would be more developments and all the funds that are needed, the resources that are needed for those things. And Lord Jesus, would you just go before them even in this coming year? In your name we pray. Amen.
That invocation was so special. Thank you, Lars. While our mission is about building homes, it's really about the people we serve and how much we care about them. And nobody has exemplified this level of caring more than our former board chair, Paul Wilson. Paul passed away last November, and to me, Paul was a friend, a mentor, the calmest person I know who could so magically use subtle humor in the most incredible of moments. To me, Paul was a friend, a mentor, a true leader, and a visionary. No job was too big or too small. He is remembered by his calm demeanor, punctuated by subtle, or sometimes strong, humor that could make any situation better. He initially joined Habitat on a construction work site, then participated on the Family Services Committee. Paul and his wife, Diane McQuarrie, had served as mentors to families at our Canon Perdido affordable housing project. In 2014, Paul joined the board of directors, and in 2018, he became chairman of the board. It is so touching to share with you that he was actively engaged in volunteering with Habitat up until the week of his passing. A true man of service, he was humble, dedicated, emotionally intelligent, and wanted to see the best for Habitat and the individuals and families we serve. His values continue to inspire so many of us on a daily basis. In addition to being a humanitarian, his professional background included geospatial technology, mapping, and planning. As a self-professed mapping nerd, he frequently lectured at UCSB's Center for Spatial Studies, and not surprisingly, described affordable housing or unaffordable housing in Santa Barbara in the way that he often thought of the world, as a spatial issue. Upon his passing, the board came together to share memories of Paul, and we created this image to remind us of his legacy. Paul is someone we miss deeply, and the impact he made on the people and organization is profound. This event is just one small opportunity to acknowledge his service. Our board and staff look forward to ways to continue to honor him in the future. Behind the veneer of prosperity, there are so many individuals and families in Santa Barbara who are perhaps fortunate enough to have a roof over their heads, but many times are living in dangerous living conditions. In the aftermath of the Great Recession, neither incomes nor housing construction has been able to keep pace with our community's housing needs. Home ownership rates have declined. There has been an increase in the rental market, leading to a significant decrease in vacancies and surging rental costs, which is especially prevalent in Santa Barbara. Approximately 61% of residents in the city of Santa Barbara are extremely low income. Yet, they would have to make an average of $50 an hour to afford the average rent. That's a work week of 167 hours at minimum wage to afford a 2-bedroom. But that's where the mission of Habitat for Humanity of Southern Santa Barbara County comes in. Founded locally in the year 2000, we proudly help individuals and families in need build and improve a place to call home. We work towards our vision by building strength, stability, and self-reliance in partnership with families in need of decent and affordable housing. With the support of volunteers and donors, Habitat Santa Barbara has built 22 new homes for 84 people, 50% of which are children, as well as help rebuild and repair more than 160 homes across Santa Barbara South County. Habitat homeowners help build their own homes along volunteers and pay an affordable mortgage. We've also had the honor of contributing to approximately 50 new homes that have been constructed abroad. Our core program focus areas include constructing new homes and promoting the value of affordable home ownership, repairing homes and revitalizing neighborhoods, partnering with families to provide mentorship and skills and educational classes, and, when the need arises, mobilizing volunteers during times of disaster response and aiding in recovery efforts. It's crucially important to recognize the role discrimination has played in U.S. housing policy. In partnership with Jonathan Reckford, CEO of Habitat for Humanity International, we share his important remarks with you regarding systemic racism and its impact on affordable housing. We must commit to doing the work in our practices, our programs, and our networks that bring equity to our efforts and helps bring justice to the communities in which we work. We must, throughout our ministry, do a better job of connecting issues of racial and social injustice with historic barriers to affordable housing and working to eradicate those barriers. The power of our mission is in the community, serving those in the community and the community we build. Our teams of volunteers make changing lives, building and repairing homes a possibility. Thank you for partnering with us in building homes, communities, and hope. It is my honor to introduce to you a person who is really well known at Habitat Santa Barbara, our first staff and executive director, Joyce Mccola, who will recognize our honorees tonight. Joyce's time at Habitat includes 11 years of service, and it's important to note the volunteerism and leadership of her husband, Bill Mccola, as well. Selecting honorees for an anniversary event is no easy task, and so who better to include in this process as we look back on the strength of our supporters since our inception. Welcome, Joyce.
Thank you, Jessica. I was so pleased when Jessica reached out to invite me to participate in this gala. I'm amazed to think it's been 20 years since our founding, and I love knowing how many lives we've been able to change. It's an honor to be part of this event. And you know, there's so many individuals and organizations worthy of recognition. It makes selecting just 3 honorees very difficult. Habitat staff sat down with many stakeholders, including me, to review who made an impact, not just in the last couple of years, but over the organization's lifetime. This included partnership on all levels, as volunteers, as donors, and as partners who were able to fill unique and unmet needs for the organization. I'm so proud to announce our 3 primary honorees. First of all, Montecito Bank and Trust will take home the Legacy Partner Award from the time that Mr. Tobes was the chairman with his interest in affordable housing. Now, under the leadership of Janet Carufus, Montecito Bank and Trust has been a wonderful partner to Habitat. Our second award is our Community Resilience Award, which we award to Union Bank this evening. Union Bank has participated with Habitat for many years up and down the coast of California, and we're honored to have their participation with Habitat for Humanity. And our third award goes to our dear friends over at Yardi Systems, whose long partnership stood out as the obvious choice for our Corporate Partnership Award.
Congratulations to all the recipients.
Well, I first learned about Habitat for Humanity when I was working in Los Angeles many years ago. And so when I came to Santa Barbara, about 20 years ago now, and I learned that Habitat for Humanity was really just getting organized, I was really intrigued and wanted to learn more. And it just so happens that a friend, an associate of mine in town, invited me to participate with Habitat. And so I was really there at the ground level, and Montecito Bank and Trust, because I was there, they were there. So we were there together, and we've really been supporting Habitat, I think, almost from the very beginning. My favorite moment of working with Habitat Santa Barbara has got to be these wonderful fundraising events. I love going to the opening nights, the opening days at the houses. I love seeing the families. I love the groundbreakings, but for me, the energy that comes to be in a room with like-minded people who know why we're here and who come here because they really care and they really want to give, it is the most exciting, wonderful experience for me to see how much help can happen in a very, very short period of time. One of the wonderful community building things that happens at Habitat is how like-minded people who are really committed to this cause of building affordable housing, workforce housing, housing that's so necessary in this community, how they have found each other and how they gravitate toward each other. So I think about volunteers and donors like Christine Garvey, Leslie Skipper, Linda Nara, women I've worked with who have been extraordinarily generous and with both their time, treasure, and talent. Craig Zimmerman is someone who was with us early on, who's also director at the bank with Christine Garvey. So, you know, Santa Barbara is such a small town, and you find that you run into the people that think the way you think and care about the things you care about by doing this community building in these organizations. It's really a very simple formula. You know, one of the wonderful things about this partnership with Habitat is that it offers our employees so many opportunities to use their highest and best skills. So from people who volunteer on weekends for Brush with Kindness to an associate who has been on the finance committee. We have an associate who's on the events committee. They donate their time and their talent in so many different ways, and Habitat is so gracious about allowing us to give in ways that are meaningful to us. That's what really makes it work. I'm really proud to be able to accept this award on behalf of Montecito Bank and Trust. Legacy and partnership are two words that are pretty charged with meaning for us. To have been recognized in this way this evening and to receive this award, it really means so much to us, to all of us. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Vince Caballero, Managing Director and Region Manager at Union Bank in Santa Barbara County.
And I'm Reese Morris, Managing Director for Residential Lending in Santa Barbara County and Ventura for Union Bank, as well as on the Board of Directors, Executive Board for Habitat for Humanity in Santa Barbara, and the Finance Board. And Vince, I am so glad that it's the first time I get to put out my suit and out of my pajamas in a full year.
I am too, Reese, and guess what? I dusted off my shoulders.
That I need to do too.
I have to say, on behalf of Union Bank, we are honored to accept this special Community Resilience Award in recognition of our long-standing community partnership. It really is a fun and very special partnership for us too. My first connection with Habitat was 7 years ago when my retail banking team volunteered with a Brush of Kindness program, helping to clean and renovate a local senior's property. It was a lot of work and incredibly rewarding. And what a difference too.
It's been unbelievable. I remember the Habitat of Canon Perdidio, the condo project down there, but you know what? The one I remember the most is in Carpinteria, the Sawyer build, and just you flexing your muscles on that rebar. I will never forget that, and I have the video to prove it.
I am a little sore, Reese. You know, since 2013, the MUFG Foundation has provided vital funding via local affordable housing, philanthropic initiatives, plus a larger multi-year Advancing Communities Forward grant. And of course, sponsorship along the way of Habitat's many creative fundraising venues.
You know, Vince, talking about creative, We had such a blast participating and building those playhouses. We got to see, it was a big corporate competition, but we got to see people as carpenters, as painters. And although that's changed this past year, I think it's been also awesome that we've been able to participate in finance, webinars. The work still goes on.
Absolutely. We are still giving back virtually to our communities, and we can't wait to get back in person.
We can't wait to get back in person, but we want to thank Habitat of Santa Barbara for giving us this massive award today, and we are ready for the next 10 years.
Habitat, thank you for this amazing award and this amazing honor. But most important, thank you for all that you do for our communities.
It's been 15 years since I got involved with Habitat for Humanity, and it's been an incredible journey. I started by walking into a small little office in Old Town Goleta, knocking on the door, and Joyce Mccola opened the door and welcomed me in, and I just said, what can I do? How can I help? For me, it was such an important mission, Habitat's mission, because Yardi, our foundation of our company is property and property software, and affordable housing is a big part of what we do in trying to help affordable housing managers and the tenants of affordable housing with our software. And so it just made a lot of sense that I would reach out to Habitat, and it was so great how Joyce welcomed me into the organization, gave me a job, put me to work right away fundraising. And I think we were working on the San Pasquale project and fundraising for that when I first started. So it was great, and I just always felt at home with the Habitat family here in Santa Barbara, and the mission of Habitat, which is close to my heart. Over the last 15 years that I've been involved with Habitat, a big part of that was spent working on the board and working with the great board members that had an uncomfortable job of going into the community and asking for help. It makes it so much easier, though, to ask for help and ask for, quite frankly, donations when your cause is this strong. And for me, the thing that made it easy was to show someone, the projects that we've built, San Pasquale, Canon Perdido, the 20 plus units that are out there in this community serving, those in need of a hand up, and not a handout, but a hand up in the community to get them started. And so that made it easy for me as a board member to reach out to my peers and my friends and colleagues, and to Yardi, quite frankly. It made it easy for me to go to On at Yardi and say, this organization needs help. There's going to be something that you can see when we're done with this money, when we've invested it. You can walk up to it. You can see the nails that our team at Yardi hammered into that house. It's permanent, it's tangible, and that makes fundraising so much easier. And hopefully for those who are considering it this year, it'll make it easy for them to make that decision to give. Thank you so much. Being recognized like this as a partner of Habitat is really important to Yardi. We've been in town in Santa Barbara since 1983, believe it or not, and there's an incredible pride in this community that all Yardi employees have, and it is just the easiest job to work with Habitat because our missions are so aligned. Taking care of our communities is part of our mission statement. It's a big part of what Habitat does. And we're focused on properties. We develop property management software, and so there's a natural relationship to what we do and what Habitat does. And I just can't think of a better organization to work with for those reasons.
The mission at Habitat is so powerful to help someone buy a home for the first time that they helped build themselves, all while being a model built upon self-sufficiency. It's unmatched. At Habitat, it's so important to hear the story from our homeowners, stories of that transition that was made from when moving into a safe, decent home for the first time, stories of a new job, growing families, and ability to pursue an education, all because of a Habitat home. And stories about preserving the affordable housing stock we already have, many times helping seniors remain in their homes while we focus on health and safety issues. A one-time investment in a home lasts a lifetime. I'm sure you'll agree when you hear from the homeowners. Coming up next.
I am a proud husband to my wife Emily Linton for almost 15 years. We have 4 beautiful daughters. Lydia is 10, Lindy's 8, Isla's 6, and Gloria is about a 1.5-year-old. And I am a proud owner of a Habitat for Humanity home. It was about 6 years ago, right after my daughter Isla was born, that we moved into our Habitat for Humanity home right there on Cannon Perdido Street. And I can't tell you how wonderful that has been. But the story didn't start there. I remember as we walked into the East Side Library where they were having applications and interviews for anybody that wanted to apply for a Habitat home. There's probably about 500 people there, and somehow we got a hold of an application. We filled out that application, we sent it in with about 150 other qualified applicants, and we got an amazing interview with a family that came and talked to us about what it meant to own a Habitat home. But we didn't hear anything for a period of time. And during that time, we had our second daughter, Lindy, and she was actually hospitalized for a congenital heart defect right when she was born, had a surgery at about 11 days of life. As we were bringing her home from UCLA, we got the call from the Habitat people. They came over and told us that, in fact, we were the recipient of a Habitat for Humanity home. I can't tell you what that did for us as a family. Having been in Santa Barbara for over 20 years, gone to graduate school at University of California, Santa Barbara, entered into ministry at Calvary Chapel, Santa Barbara, and then planning a church at Anthem Chapel. Habitat for Humanity has given us the opportunity to do ministry in this community, whereas otherwise we would have been priced out a long time ago. And we're so thankful for the community that we have at the homes at Cannon Perdido. We all get along wonderfully. We all hang out at each other's birthday parties. We pray for one another when people are mourning. We just had a family in which the husband and the father passed away. We were able to come around that family as a community. And it's just been a marvelous thing what Habitat for Humanity has been able to do for us. We strongly believe in the mission of building affordable housing for people. We're the recipients of that. I think it's a great motto that it's not a hand out, but it's a hand up. It's a helping hand up for families that are struggling just to make it in an expensive community such as Santa Barbara.
Thank you very much, Jessica, Fiora, and Catherine, and everybody for the wonderful job. The wonderful work you did on my house. You did a really nice job. That's one of the best days of my life, to see all the years of work of gardening done in one day by 27 wonderful people. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I have a better attitude every day with the more light and the new beginnings on my of being in my house. A new happiness and joy. Thank you so much.
Stability, that was the main part right here in this place, because especially with a pandemic, we cannot afford it in the other place. With Habitat, that's a big, huge difference. Really, I would say, easy to live. This place, that was a huge difference regarding the school. My kids going to school, especially with the pandemic, used to take the classes over here in the house. With not people around, they are having their own room, so they can connect it really nice and quiet and be attended. And thanks for Habitat.
On my line classes, when there was too much noise, since I have my own room, I can go in there and have more quietness.
Like having my own room because it's quiet and I could do my classes in my room.
Entire family, we live in one house with 3 more families. But we used to have only one room for us, one small room. One of the biggest part when we were in the construction here, Habitat told us we have to work 250 hours sweat equity. We went like over almost 500 hours because we really love to come every Saturday. Happy working with making the construction, and making our house. It was so nice, so happy with it.
The whole house is just for my family. And I'm really happy.
I can only imagine you are as moved by these stories as I am. Isn't it amazing that when we come together and support this cause, the impact that we can make? Next, I am honored and excited to introduce Janet Carufus, joining us live for the most suspenseful and fun part of the evening, our live fundraising. You met Janice virtually earlier this evening as we honored Montecito Bank and Trust. Janet joined Montecito Bank and Trust in 2004 and became the bank's Chief Executive Officer in September 2006 and Chairman of the Board in April 2017. She is a leader in Santa Barbara community, has won numerous awards, and sits on several boards and committees, including Habitat for Humanity's honorary board. We are so grateful for her continued support as an advocate, volunteer, and champion fundraiser for this important cause. Last but absolutely not least, thank you to you who've joined us, our volunteers, board, and supporters. Thank you for your time, talent, donations, and support, which makes a world of difference to so many in our community. We could not do this work without you. Thank you.